Welcome to Senior Year, where you come for all of your media needs. My name is Ray.
It's your boy Nikki Tay Tay.
And today we are reviewing Glass. No!
Directed by M. Night Shyamalan, starring Bruce Willis, Samuel L. Jackson, James McAvoy, and Sarah Paulson. So here we have it, Glass, the closing chapter to the Unbreakable trilogy, or also the Israel 177 trilogy, because that is a great name for this series of films. It has been 9 years since Unbreakable was released, where M. Night Shyamalan was in the prime of his talent. We got Split in 2016, and just for kicks, M. Night Shyamalan decided to say, you know what, let's make this a sequel. And so now we have Glass, the intentional trilogy, to complete the story. Unbreakable and Split arguably are great movies.
Yes, they are.
But Glass is the question mark. I will say personally that the first 2/3 of the film are amazing. It is everything that you want. It is going in the right direction, and then all of a sudden it hits a wall, and we get the M. Night Shyamalan that we have been getting for the past few movies. The After Earth, M. Night Shyamalan. The Last Airbender, M. Night Shyamalan. It is a train wreck, but it still ends okay.
This is the superhero movie that nobody wanted, okay?
Except for you.
No,
because I want it.
No.
I want it.
I thought I wanted it until I actually watched it.
I've been waiting for the world to see that we exist.
This is a movie, the superhero movie that everyone's going to say at the end of the year was by far the worst. It will not compete with any other superhero movie. And I'm letting y'all know right now, M. Night Shyamalan is back to his old ways in a bad way in this film. Okay, now Split, an amazing movie. Unbreakable was equally as good, if not better. But the biggest problem with this movie is that he tried to take those two great movies and mash them into one. This movie had no real identity. We don't know if we're getting a superhero movie full of action, or we don't know if we're getting a psychological thriller like Split was. And he tried to merge these two worlds, and he got neither of them right in this film. But the acting was phenomenal. The acting was amazing. Everybody did great. Sarah Paulson came in, stepped up to the plate. She did great. Everybody did great. Even though this film itself wasn't.
I agree with the point that everybody did great. The acting was superb. I would say the standout for me was James. He, just the way he can play multiple personalities simultaneously. He did it well in Split. He did it great in this movie. Amazing job. For your other points, though, I would disagree. I think that with Unbreakable, the tone of this franchise was set. You could argue that Split did go in a different direction because, again, at the end of the movie was where they inserted, hey, this is a sequel. But Glass, takes this world and says, hey, there are extraordinary people that exist that can do extraordinary things. And we see that in Glass. We see this conclusion come to a somewhat thrilling but not what you really want finale. I don't know. I mean, again, it starts out great. They fight. We get the action. It's intense. We get to see, the game plan being worked. It's like, oh, it's going to be an epic. It's going to be a build-up. And M. Night Shyamalan hit us with the ultimate twist of, yeah, this movie is not going to end as good as it started. And you got us. You got us.
It's almost like me and Nick watched two different movies. I really do feel like that because the action that he is so much talking about was so slim at the beginning. And after that, it was just all about the psychological threshold that we're trying to go down, this tunnel that no one wants to lead to. We got it in Split. We don't need it again. This movie is called Glass, but Samuel L. Jackson gets the smallest role in this movie. Smaller than Sarah, smaller than Bruce Willis. This movie should have been split too.
I have no question there are 24 identities.
I'm Mary Reynolds. Por favor, señora. We almost got you, bro.
Because James McAvoy got all of the time in this movie. All of the time was dedicated really more towards his character. We go down a lot of plots in this movie and none of them come to an end. That is another thing that was wrong with this movie. We take us down all of these different avenues and never really fulfill any of them.
Yeah, I don't know what you're talking about.
Look, I'll give an example. One of the examples is they want to talk about how Bruce Willis was once a hero and he was going fighting justice. They also talked about his wife dying. They didn't give us that much. That was it. What I just gave you was exactly how much they just gave us. They didn't dive into it.
How much do you expect?
I expect a lot more. If you want to bring Unbreakable back into the fold, show me more of what happened with Bruce Willis.
They did. They gave you the whole news clip
You
scene.
get 2 minutes. Thank you. Thank you for the 2 minutes.
Yeah, what-
You summed up a whole sequel of a movie in 2 minutes. Good job. Let's go to the rating.
I think in the end, you know, a lot of critics are saying that this film is great. The first 2 acts are amazing, but the ending is flat. And that is absolutely true. I think if you are a fan of Unbreakable, if you are a fan of Split, if you are a fan of M. Night Shyamalan, then the first hour 20 is just what you want. We get everything that we need as fans. But the ending is so lackluster. There's so much potential for this film to be better. In the end, it could have been something grand. It could have been as amazing as you wanted Superman versus General Zod to be at the end. But instead, we got something that was just a bit worse than that. And I don't even know how you could go from something that was amazing to something that bad. It's like winning a national football title and then getting handed Big Macs and Whoppers at the end. It is just a travesty. But I will still give this movie a 7. A flat 7. Because M. Night Shyamalan did deliver at its core what we wanted from this trilogy. He just did not deliver enough.
Glass, as the title suggests, would mean that it is together. And after Split and Unbreakable, M. Night Shyamalan could not pick up the pieces of this movie.
That was nice.
I would have to give this movie a 5.5. This movie, I guess it can be watched, but it will not be anywhere near as good as the other 2 movies. And after you watch it, you're going to realize that M. Night Shyamalan duped us once again.
That completes the review for Glass. This is one of the movies I think we have been the most off on in a while. Which means the viewers will be off. And that is fair. It's M. Night Shyamalan. He is never a everybody loves him, everybody hates him, unless it is The Sixth Sense. This man has had a roller coaster ride of a career, and he showed it in one movie, I would say, pretty freaking fantastically. As always, you know, like, comment, subscribe. Let us know how you feel about the movie Glass. Do you want to see more in this universe? Are you done with this universe? Are you done with superhero movies that aren't made by Marvel? I probably am, but Aquaman just gave enough for me to continue. As always, don't forget, you've seen it here.